Hello everyone, welcome to Success EduTech. Thank you for your sincere response to my previous video of lecture 1. In the previous video, we learned about motion, displacement, distance, speed and velocity. We were able to distinguish between the scalar and the vector quantities. In the today's lecture, we are going to study about the concept acceleration, which is a lecture 2 of this subject by Mrs. Vinita Guntakal. Let us learn this figure in order to know the effect of speed and direction on velocity. In this example, there is a boy named Sachin. Sachin is traveling on a motorbike. Explain what will happen in the following event during Sachin's ride. Carefully observe the figure to understand the effect of speed and direction on velocity. We have to observe these three figures. In the first figure, we have to answer a question which is, what will be the effect on the velocity of the motorcycle if its speed increases or decreases but its direction remains unchanged? The speed may increase or it may decrease. The Sachin is traveling on the bike. Here the speed of his bike, it increases or decreases. We have to tell about what will happen, what will be the effect on velocity. The direction is kept unchanged. If the speed is changing, the distance will also change. The distance covered, the distance traveled in a unit time will also change. Therefore, the distance will change and the displacement will change. There will be a change in the velocity. In the second figure, the question is, in case of turning on the road, will the velocity and speed be same? If Sachin changes the direction of the motorcycle, keeping its speed constant, what will be the effect on the velocity? The speed is kept constant here. The direction is changed. If the direction is changed, this velocity will also get changed, though the speed is kept constant, because the definition of velocity is itself the distance traveled in a particular direction by an object in unit time is velocity. The distance traveled should be in a particular direction. Here in the question only they mention if Sachin changes the direction of the motorcycle and speed is kept constant, so direction is no more a particular one, therefore the velocity will change. The third question is, if we have to observe the third figure for that question, if on a turning Sachin changes the direction as well as the speed of the motorcycle, what will be the effect on its velocity? The speed and the direction both are changed, therefore displacement will change, because direction is required is particular. Therefore, as the direction is no more particular, the velocity will change. Speed is changing, displacement is changing, therefore velocity will change. So it is clear from the above that velocity depends on speed as well as direction, and that velocity changes by changing the speed while keeping the direction same, changing the direction while keeping the speed same, changing the speed as well as the direction will change the velocity. This is the effect of velocity, change in speed and direction on velocity. We have to remember the first scientist to measure speed was Galileo. He measured the speed as distance per unit time. The speed of sound in dry air is 343.2 meter per second. Speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. The speed of revolution of the earth around the sun is about 29,770 meter per second. So students, you do remember these points because it may appear as a question in your exam. So remember the first scientist to measure the speed of sound, speed of light, speed of revolution of earth. Let us understand the concept of uniform and non-uniform linear motion. Here we have to study this table to understand uniform and non-uniform motion. Amar, Akbar and Anthony are traveling in different cars with different velocities. The distance covered by them during different time interval are given in the following table. There are 4 columns. In the first column, there is a time interval, and each time interval is of 30 minutes. So it is an equal time interval. In the second column, it is a distance covered by Amar, distance covered by Akbar, and in the fourth column, it is distance covered by Anthony. We have to first study this table. We have to read the table. In this table, the time interval is equal, which is 30 minutes. In the second column, where there is a distance covered by Amar, the distance covered by Amar in every interval is 20 kilometers. Can you check that? 0, then it is 20, then it is again 20, then 20, 20, 20, until 120, it is 20 kilometer in every 30 minutes. Distance covered by Akbar, it is 18 in the first time interval. In the second time interval, it is again 18. In the third time interval, it is 6. And when it becomes 6, we can say that this is not equal distance covered in equal interval of time. Therefore, Akbar is having certain non-uniformity. Distance covered by Anthony in kilometer. See, in the first time interval, Anthony has covered 14 kilometer, then again 14 kilometer, then again 14 kilometer, then 14, then 14, and then 14. Then this is a uniform distance travel in equal interval of time. So what we can conclude is speed of Amar is uniform. Yeah, because 20 kilometer in every 30 minutes. Speed of Anthony, yeah, it is also uniform because 14 kilometer in every 30 minutes. Speed of Akbar is not uniform because it is 18 here, and then it becomes 6 kilometer in the next interval. So no need to calculate further. Once it has become non-uniform, the entire motion is called as a non-uniform one. So what we have to answer certain questions here, which are: what is the time interval between the notings of the distance made by Amar, Akbar and Anthony? The time interval is 30 minutes. Who has covered equal distance in equal interval? Amar and Anthony. Are all the distance covered by Akbar in the fixed time interval the same? No, it is not the same. Considering the distance covered by Amar, Akbar and Anthony in fixed time interval, what can you say about their speed? What we can say about their speed is that the speed of Amar and Anthony is uniform. The speed of Akbar is not uniform. Speed of Amar can be calculated by using speed is equal to total distance travelled upon time required. The distance travelled by Akbar is 20 kilometer and it is in 30 minutes. The SI unit of speed is meter per second. So we have to convert this kilometer into meter. So 20 kilometer will be multiplied by 1000 meter, which comes out to be 20,000 meter. The 30 minutes, to convert it into seconds, it will be multiplied by 60 seconds. So it comes out to be 1800 seconds. So answer is 11.11 meter per second is the speed of Amar, which is a uniform one. Similarly, speed of Akbar is not uniform. And with the same formula, we calculate the speed of Anthony in meter per second. It comes out to be 7.78 meter per second, which is a uniform speed. And that is the reason we call Amar's and Anthony's motion to be a uniform one and Akbar to be a non-uniform one. So we can define the uniform and non-uniform linear motion as: if an object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be moving with a uniform speed. For example, hands of a clock. It shows the uniform circular motion. The movement of the hands of the clock, they move equal distance in equal interval of time. So it is a uniform motion. If an object covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be moving with a non-uniform speed. The example is the motion of a vehicle being driven through heavy traffic. Whenever the vehicle is moving in a heavy traffic, either it has to slower down the speed or it has to increase the speed in some instant. So the speed is no more constant. For that reason, it is said to be a non-uniform motion. Another example is an athlete running in the race. He has to continuously increase its speed. So speed is not a constant in the particular interval of time. So it is a non-uniform motion. After understanding the concept of uniform and non-uniform motion, we are towards the concept of acceleration. Like we define the velocity as the distance traveled in a particular direction by an object in a unit time is called velocity, or the rate of change of displacement is called as velocity. We also define acceleration as the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. The unit of velocity is meter per second and the unit of acceleration is meter per second square. It is meter per second square. To understand the concept of acceleration, we will take these two examples into consideration. In the first example, take a 1 meter long plastic tube and cut it lengthwise into two halves. Take one of the channel shaped pieces. You have to take one piece out of the two. Okay. Place one of its end on the ground and hold the other at some height from the ground as shown in the figure. Take a small ball and release it from the upper end of the channel. Observe the velocity of the ball as it rolled down along the channel. Is the velocity same at all the points? No, velocity will not be same. Observe how the velocity changes as it moves from top through the middle and to the bottom. To understand this example, I have taken another example. You must have all played on a slide in the park. You know that while sliding down, the velocity is less at the top. You start at the time the velocity is less. It increases in the middle. You enjoy in the middle because the velocity is too high, and it becomes zero towards the end. Come down and the velocity here it becomes zero and you fall down. Isn't it? All of you have experienced this slide. So at the top the velocity is very less, and in between it increases, and down when you come down out of the slide the velocity becomes zero. Similarly here also, when you start the ball it is at rest, so its velocity will be low. Here it will go on increasing, and here it will be zero. The velocity will be zero. So we can understand this example by our own experience of slide. So acceleration, it is a rate of change of velocity, how the velocity is changing from top to bottom. Whether it is increasing, so we call it as acceleration. If it is decreasing, we call it as a deceleration. If the velocity is not changing at all, that it will be a zero acceleration. But here it is a slope, so there is no chance of velocity not changing. So acceleration is the concept of where there is a change in the velocity. Acceleration is a change in the velocity per unit time. So it is, velocity is meter per second. Velocity ka unit it is meter per second, then divided by time. Time is again the second, so if we divide again it by second, we will get second square. So the unit comes out to be meter per second square for acceleration. If the velocity, initial velocity is u in time t, it changes to final velocity v. So in that terms, acceleration is defined as final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. So a is equal to, acceleration is equal to v minus u upon t. So these are the two formulas of acceleration. Use your brain power. First question is, when an object is at rest in the beginning of its motion, what is its initial velocity? They say object is at rest. Rest means automatically the velocity is zero, because it starts with rest, so initial velocity is zero. Second question, when an object comes to rest, it means the velocity is zero here. When an object comes to rest at the end of the motion, what is its final velocity? So final velocity, it will be zero. Initial velocity is zero, final velocity is zero. Why? Because it has started, when an object is at rest in the beginning, velocity will be 0. That is called as initial velocity in the beginning. When the object come to rest at the end of its motion, its final velocity is also 0. The final velocity will also be 0. As I said, the acceleration may be positive, negative, or 0 acceleration. An object can have positive, negative, or 0 acceleration. If it is a positive acceleration, then the velocity of an object increases. In this case, the acceleration is in the direction of the velocity. In the negative acceleration, when the velocity of an object decreases with time, it has a negative acceleration. Negative acceleration is also called as a deceleration. Its direction is opposite to the direction of velocity. 0 acceleration. If the velocity of an object does not change with time, it is called as a 0 acceleration. So, depending upon increase or decrease or no change, we term acceleration as positive, negative, and 0 acceleration. Here we have to plot the distance time graph for uniform motion. They have plotted the scale. We have to just plot the points. On the x-axis they have taken time, on the y-axis they have taken distance. Now the following table shows the distance covered by a car in a fixed interval of time. The time interval is fixed of 10 seconds. Draw a graph of distance against time along the x-axis and distance along the y-axis. The distance is along the y-axis. So for the first 0 second it is 0, 10 seconds it is 15. So we have to plot 15. Mark the 15 on 10. So 15 is here somewhere. Okay, then for 20 it is 30. Here 30 it is 45. 40 it is 60. 50 it is 75. 60 it is 90. 70 it is 105. You people should mark this on your own graph paper. Join these lines. You will get a straight line here. You have got a straight line here. It is a straight line. Once you plot it in a graph paper, you will get a straight line. Plot it in the way I have done. So you will get a straight line. Why we got a straight line passing through origin? Because it is a uniform motion. In a uniform, and this, what does this line indicates? It indicates the velocity, because it is the distance plotted against time. So distance time graph, line gives us the velocity. It is a uniform motion because the velocity is uniform throughout. It is a straight line. Distance time graph for non-uniform motion. The following table shows the distance covered by bus in equal interval of time. Draw a graph of distance against time, taking the time along the x-axis and distance along the y-axis. Does the graph shows a direct proportionality between distance and time? This is the distance time graph for non-uniform motion. So obviously we have got the idea that the proportionality will not be direct. In the previous case there was a direct proportionality, because as the time increases, distance increases, and the distance increases in equal amount only. Here the distance is 0, then it becomes 7, then it is 12. So if it was a uniform motion, then it would have been 0, 7, 14, correct? Then it would have been 21, like that. But here it is 0, 7, then it is 12, 20, 30. So there is a variation in the distance traveled. So it is a non-uniform motion. Therefore there won't be a direct proportionality between distance and time. Everyone should try this graph on your graph paper. Plotting this graph on your graph paper, you will get to know what is a non-uniform motion here, how it is not directly proportional. So I am drawing this. It won't be a clear one. You have to draw it on your graph paper. Mark it here as a, we have to mark it here as a time, here as a distance. Time is 0, then they have taken 5, then they have taken 10, then they have taken 15, 20, interval of 5 minutes, 25, 30 and 35, marking on this intervals. You should mark properly on your graph paper. Then the distance is, we will take interval of 10 meter, 10, then it is 20 here, then 30, then 40, then 50, and then 50, and then 60 here. For 0 it is 0 meter, 0 second it is 0 meter, 5 second it is 7 meter. Your 7 meter will come out here somewhere. For 10 it is 12, 10 it is 12. For 15 it is 20. For 20 it is 30 meters. For 25 it is 41. For 30 it is 50. For 35 it is 58, somewhere around 60. And when you mark it, this is not a straight line, so there is no direct proportionality, hence it is a non-uniform motion. You should also write scale over here on your graph paper. Use this table and plot a graph. Check whether it is directly proportional or no. Use your brain power. What difference do you see in the distance time graph for uniform and non-uniform motion? For uniform motion graph, the distance changes uniformly with time. Thus the car is having a uniform motion. The straight line shows the distance changes uniformly. For non-uniform motion graph, the distance changes non-uniformly with time. Thus the bus is having a non-uniform motion. The in short of today's lecture is the uniform and non-uniform linear motion and acceleration. In the uniform and the non-uniform motion, we have studied that if the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, it is called as a non-uniform. Otherwise, it is called as a uniform. Otherwise, it is called as a non-uniform linear motion. In acceleration, we have studied that the rate of change of velocity is called as a acceleration. If there is a change in the velocity with respect to time, whether it is increasing or decreasing, it is called as a acceleration. If there is no change, we have learned that it is called as a unaccelerated motion or zero acceleration. In the next lecture, we are going to study the graphs of acceleration, velocity with respect to time. That is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.